How realistic is Flight Sim? How real does it feel? How should I make my flight simulator more realistic? All of that coming up.
Let me go. It's a new adventure.
Hey guys, Roundabot here and welcome back to another video. Today we'll be discussing the realism of modern day flight sims and how to make them more realistic. I recently went on a discovery flight in which I was able to control the aircraft. To test the accuracy of flight sims, I will attempt to recreate that exact flight in Microsoft Flight Sim 2020. I will try to follow the exact procedures that were used in real life. After this, I will examine the experience of the flight sim compared to the real thing. Slight disclaimer, I am in no means a real pilot, nor do I have much experience. Please take these findings with a grain of salt, as I have only flown in flight simulators prior to this discovery flight. Without further ado, let's get into it. We start at Charlie Zulu Victor Lima, my home airport, at the Nemeo Flying Club hangar. My instructor then pulled out his checklist and followed the engine start checklist. We then checked the voltmeter, oil pressure, and all the other necessary gauges before taxiing. Keep in mind that the 172 that we actually took was way less modern than the Microsoft Flight Sim one. Once we were out on taxiway Bravo, I took the rudder controls to taxi us to runway 16. We pulled aside to do the necessary engine tests before taking off. The instructor then took control as we began our takeoff roll. As we turned for upwind, the instructor gave me back the controls and instructed me to keep the aircraft at a steady altitude. After we were a ways from the airport, the instructor had me do a series of turns, climbs, and descents. He taught me how to use the rudder properly and how to keep the nose at the horizon consistently. After it was time to head back, the instructor instructed me to follow various highways to align us back up with runway 16. At about 100-ish feet, the instructor took back control to land. After we landed, we backtracked to taxiway Bravo to taxi back to the hangar. He then shut off the engine and we exited the aircraft. How realistic is Microsoft Flight Sim? Well, with its stunning visuals, top-of-the-line aircraft models, and an awesome modding community, it's about as close as you can get to real life. There are a few mulligans you have to deal with, such as wonky physics, the occasional bug or glitch, and some aircraft are missing buttons, but it's nothing a mod or two can't fix. I believe that our friends at Asobo did an absolutely superb job on the sim. It looks almost identical to real life, the aircraft are study level, albeit with a few mods, and the handcrafted airports are second to none, and it's all free with the premium deluxe version. When I was flying in the sim, I even noticed that the sun was reflecting off the northwestern lakes just as it did in real life. Now, this question really depends on your hardware, and Flight Sim hardware has a large variety of stuff to choose from. From a simple $200 side stick and throttle setup to a multi-million-dollar full motion simulator. Typically, the more money you spend, the more realistic it'll feel. Currently, I own a Logitech yoke, throttle quadrant, comms panel, switch panel, and rudder pedals. To me, it's enough to fly a small plane, such as a Cessna 172, without using the in-game buttons, which is a huge plus. You can tailor your flight sim settings to your liking. If you need more assistance, that's up to you. If you want to use real-world charts and procedures, go right ahead. If you want to kamikaze your friend's house, do it. The flight simulator won't judge you. All in all, if you have the money and the skills, the time and the effort, you can make Microsoft Flight Simulator as real as you want. There are many, many ways to improve your flight simulator experience. So many ways, in fact, that it would take hours to list them all. I am just going to run through the things I do. Most of the time I fly in Canada, I take the time to print out the airport charts that I will be using and put them in my flight simulator binder. My flight sim binder contains charts, VFR maps, and checklists/procedures for various aircraft. To get the charts, I use a website called flightplan.com, which is an excellent website for all your flight planning needs. Fun fact, my instructor on my Discovery flight actually taught me about this website. If you have any spare electronics laying around, connect them to the Microsoft Flight Sim Companion app, and you'll get an interactive flight map, and you'll also be able to control buttons and switches remotely. I use this on a Chromebook, but you should be able to get it to work on any device. I could ramble on and on about the things I do to enhance my flight sim experience, but I am running out of background footage. This has been Round the Pilot. I hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to leave some constructive criticism in the comments below. I'm always looking for new ways to improve my content. With all that said, have a good one, and I'll see you next time. Bye!